Hello, dear colleague and fellow researchers. Today I'm going to talk about a chapter entitled Hologram from the book Simulacra and Simulation by Jean Baudrillard. So let us begin by looking at the author Jean Baudrillard. Jean Baudrillard was a French sociologist and philosopher with an interest in cultural studies. He is best known for his analysis of media, contemporary culture, and technological communication, as well as his formulation of concepts such as hyperreality. Baudrillard wrote about diverse subjects, including consumerism, critique of economy, social history, aesthetics, Western foreign policy, and popular culture. The present chapter, entitled Holographs, explores the philosophical implications of holograms and simulation, arguing that the pursuit of perfect resemblance or an exact double ultimately leads to the disappearance of the original and its associated meaning. He suggests that the drive for hyperreal exactitude, where something becomes, I quote, more real than the real, unquote, paradoxically results in an unreal and meaningless existence, stripping away the hidden depths and secrets that make reality compelling. Baudrillard suggests that our fascination with holographic technology stems from a desire to transcend ourselves and reality. Yet, this very pursuit renders what is experienced as hyperreal rather than authentically real. Baudrillard explores holograms not just as technology, but as a metaphor for humanity's desire to seize and perfectly reproduce reality, much like Narcissus gazing at his reflection. He argues that this quest for an exact double, whether a holographic image or a clone, ultimately leads to the disappearance of illusion and seduction, which are essential to meaning and truth. Here, the underlying fantasy is that of seizing reality live. When this fantasy is realized through a holographic double, it ceases to be a dream and its charm is lost. The text posits that a total capture of information or a perfect replica, such as a clone or a hologram, sacrifices the seduction and illusion inherent in less complete representations. The pursuit of exact resemblance eliminates the necessary illusion and the dual relationship between the original and the copy, causing the image and potentially the subject to disappear and ending seduction. Ultimately, the work suggests that the drive for absolute similitude paradoxically destroys the very concept of the real, leading to a state where truth loses its reference and meaning becomes nonsensical. The pursuit of perfect similitude, epitomized by the hologram, destroys the very notion of a distinct original and its mirrored counterpart, leading to a metaphysical state where truth and meaning dissolve. Let us look at some of the important terms used in this particular chapter. The first one, the important term laid down by Baudrillard, simulacrum, a copy without an original or a representation that precedes and determines the real. Simulacra, plural of simulacrum, copies that either have no original or obscure their lack of an original, potentially preceding and determining the real. Simulation, the process by which models and signs without origin refer to each other, creating a hyperreal world. Hyperreality, a state in which the distinction between reality and simulation has collapsed. The simulacrum has become more real than the real. It is condition in which the simulated has become more real than the real itself, and the distinction between the two has collapsed. Hologram, presented as a perfect image or double, representing the fantasy of seizing and immobilizing reality. Baudrillard argues it embodies the move towards the hyperreality. Double, the mirrored equivalent of something. Baudrillard discusses the fascination and danger of creating perfect doubles. Pataphysics, the science of imaginary solutions, as defined by Alfred Jarry. Baudrillard suggests that pushing exact science to its limit, like the hologram, can lead to a metaphysical absurdity where meaning collapses. Truth value versus simulation value. Holograms as hyperreal reproductions lose reproductive truth value and instead possess simulation value, operating on the other side of the truth. Aura, a unique quality or atmosphere surrounding an original work of art, which Walter Benjamin argued is diminished by mechanical reproduction. Baudrillard moves one step forward. Baudrillard extends this concept to the imaginary aura of the double. Similitude, resemblance, or likeness. Baudrillard argues that perfect similitude is unattainable and that attempts to achieve it leads to the hyperreal. Trompelole, trompelole, an art technique that uses realistic imagery to create the optical illusion that depicted objects appear in three dimensions. So that is all for today. Thank you. Please comment which other concepts you like to know in more detail. Thank you.